we go. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? That music is way too loud. That's because I was doing something earlier with Patreon and wanted the music louder for that. And now we need to turn that way the hell down. There we go. What's up, everybody? How are we doing? That should be okay. What's up, guys? Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? Good?
Good, I'm sleepy.
You sleepy?
Mm-hmm.
Was somebody playing too much
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead?
I was up late thinking about Walking Dead. That's what that was my problem.
Yeah, I actually didn't even get to fully respond to you yet because obviously you had messaged me and I was like, oh, I'm so busy right now.
I figured. No, I just had to. It was one of those things where it's like it's in your mind and you have to just like bleh, like get it all out, and then I'm like, you respond whenever.
Yeah. I was like, Rena diarrheaing on my screen. Thanks, Rena. What's up, guys? How we doing? Good?
Yeah, pretty good.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to see how much we get done today. I mean, this is can be the season finale. Oh, hello. This can be the season finale on our season here. What is it? Season 2, session 12 or 13? Session 13. Let's see if it ends up being the last season. I'm excited for it either way. So let's go. Last time we played, you guys had finally come up with a plan, exactly how it is that you intend to drop Rena's character off, and
At jail.
At the end of the campaign, first, Rena and Ophios were supposed to try and learn from Yondis about lockpick.
Oh yes, yeah.
Sorry
about that.
That is a thing.
Oh, 1 second.
Oh yeah.
And we were hoping that Yondis would roll well in teaching, and then Ophios would suck at intelligence again.
Also, Flint's here.
Yeah, Flint's here. Say hi to Will, everybody. If you missed last session, say hi to Will.
Hi, Will.
Hi, Will. That's it. That's when we all say.
Hi,
Okay.
Will.
Well,
Hi, Will.
I mean, I was here last session.
Ooh, that's true.
I wasn't. Yesterday.
I mean, Messi's never here. He just sits in the chair, and we,
There's actually thousands of me running around in this apartment, and I just grabbed one.
That's
Oh,
terrifying because I pictured you having 1,000 babies instead
Well,
of 1,000
they are small.
clones.
They are smaller, but I have a mini desk with a mini green screen behind it that I just zoom the camera in on. It looks fine. You guys have never noticed, so.
All right, so stay tuned for when Messi has a site where he sells his mini dolls.
They're not dolls. They're humans.
Why are we
really
making things weird?
What?
I don't know. I felt like it.
They're just really small humans.
Is it anybody else?
It's not weird. It's not weird, guys. It's not weird at all.
Anybody else
Okay.
uncomfortable?
Let's just
Yeah. Who? Messi, what's the recap? I'm just kidding. We already know where we are. Okay. What are we rolling to check to see if we learned lockpicking or not?
Oh, we
that's
didn't talk about all the other
Rita,
stuff,
you picked it right back. I forgot. I got a lot of details I remembered.
We were just
Wow.
talking about that.
We just said that. You just said that.
I was fixing things. So my apologies. Yeah, it was literally you guys came up with an awesome plan. I'm excited to see how that plan plays out. Rena, you were literally learning lockpicking because you're about to get walked into the prison by a bounty hunter by the name of Dwayne that you met. Yes.
Dwayne the Rock.
And Ophios was learning as well. But I was gonna ask you, Scott, because I talked about you before the stream started. Are we gonna pan back to when Ophios prays to that statue again when they went to get the supplies?
Oh yeah, we can do that. I suppose after.
After the lockpicking.
Yeah. So let's do the lockpicking roll because we were going to do the roll to teach and the roll to learn.
We know Ophios did so great last time.
Yeah. Well, if I remember correctly, to teach we were doing a charisma check, and to learn we were doing an intelligence check.
I think that's what we did.
I think.
Okay, that sounds fine.
Okay.
I honestly wonder, because he has the lockpicking tools, Scott, just out of curiosity, because he would use them to teach, if he could use that and then just roll charisma based on it instead of dex.
Mm-hmm.
Because he would still be using the tools to teach, so his proficiency with the tools could perhaps aid him in that. That was just a question thing. Because the last time he was teaching me his thieves' cants, which obviously is more straightforward using hand motions and talking.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Well, the whole idea of teaching actually is my apologies, not fine. But the whole idea of teaching is it's like the reason why I did charisma before is because it's based off of literally your ability to
right.
to convey the message.
And that's why I was saying do lock picking, but roll with charisma instead of dex.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
the
so
tools.
sorry. So you're saying use the tools aspect. You know what?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Sure. That sounds actually like a really good idea. I agree with that, Tyler. And are you just trying to make us jealous with your toys? Is that what you're doing?
This is Geralt, and this is Claptrap. I make them kiss.
Those are very random characters to make do that.
That's
but
all I
those
have.
are cool. Oh,
That's all I
okay.
have. Yeah.
So you're saying that
Doesn't wanna get
Geralt
out.
has no qualms with the sex toy industry?
Cute.
No.
Okay,
Why would
cool.
he? He's a Witcher. He doesn't. No.
Yeah.
Not in my mind.
Okay. Well, moving on. Go ahead, sir.
I mean, he uses whores and never mind.
Continuing on.
Oh, wait, let's go back. Let's go back. Hold on, let's go back.
Continuing on.
I love how he's just like, that was just said. All right. Continuing on.
Between Messi and Doxy, I just need showers all day. So cool me down. Messi, roll your lockpicks with charisma check.
Yeah, is that Thieves' Tools?
Correct.
Yes.
With
I agree with Tyler's suggestion. I think it's a good one.
All right, everyone, cross your fingers and your toes, please. If you don't do it in the chat.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I can do that with my feet right here. Right,
Oh
right
my.
Oh!
Giannis.
It was so close.
He almost nattied one on teaching.
I mean, to be fair though.
That'd be. What did I?
I mean, I rolled. Ophius rolled a 0 last time.
Oh,
He tried to
so
learn
yeah.
something.
Rena, you can roll yours as well.
What am I
it's
rolling?
Flat intelligence.
Yeah.
Intelligence. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I like your rug, Daelric. What is that?
Which one?
The one behind
Oh,
you.
you can only see that one.
Only rug in the room?
So well, there's two
No,
other rugs. In
well-
the room. So thanks. My wife got it on clearance.
Yay! I
Wow.
rolled better with a -1.
Rena, do you want to use the luck die?
Yeah, sure. Oh wait, it doesn't work, huh? I have to do 1d4.
Yeah. Hashtag blame.
Do we have a luck die to use before this 1d4 is
Let
used?
me-
Oh, yeah, you
Going
gotta
to be
tell us.
used. So
You do.
All right.
We used one. Did you give us that one back that we used earlier?
You guys are you're good.
'Cause Tyler checked to see if it worked earlier.
All right.
Okay.
So Rena has a 13. Ophios has a 14 for.
And you have one luck die left, to be clear.
Okay.
Oh wait, actually no. I think you just got another one given to you. Give me 1 second. You actually have 2 left. You had another one given to you.
Poggers.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Cool. So and
Yeah,
you have a
ma'am,
13.
Tim, ma'am, but
Ma'am,
we like imagining.
You have 3 left, actually. That just changed again 2 seconds ago. So
Hey,
it
thanks,
just changed
chat.
again. I
Thanks,
won't give you any
ma'am.
updates if there's more. So it's not Mem.
I'll just watch the stream, I guess. if I
Don't
have
give
to.
Mem any credit. Mem does nothing nice ever. So you guys are you don't learn these things particularly well. The thing is, you were able to have a really good example of what kind of lock you're going to find inside this prison, and he was able to take the lock picks and teach you well enough to use them on specifically this kind of a lock here. Meaning that it's not like you guys are going to be particularly good at it, but you'll be able to roll with a proficiency bonus against the prison cell that you're going to. That's in the unlikely scenario that that's what you need to do is pick a lock. You've got the opportunity to do so.
Okay.
And this is what you spent like the better part of a day, like literally training over this one lock over and over and over and over again. It's frustrating. And some points in time, you want to punch Yondas in the face. At another point in time, Ophios tries to, but Rena like catches his arm just in time that he doesn't, and so on and so forth. But so all that
Ophios tries to what?
nothing. While you are going through this frustration, Ophios, you actually have a memory montage as you like go back and kind of like try to boil down your frustration, thinking of that last time not too long ago that you went and spent your time with Snaga. You were down inside the complex that we discussed beforehand. It's nice and warm, very comfortable, and went over to the doorway, slithering through it and seeing that big, beautiful statue and all the heat that it throws off of it. It's warm in there. It's nice. It's comfortable.
This is, by the way, for people watching in chat, this was when we went to gather the supplies that we then brought, which were those volatile crystals that Flint decided to make explode.
Yeah, I would go while they did all that lockpicking stuff. I definitely got a pocket full of those, and maybe even attached one to one side of my hammer for just in case. Just saying.
Just having some fun.
I feel like you need to roll stealth for that.
I don't think anybody's watching him.
Okay. So back when that was happening, people were waiting outside for the storage lockers. Ophios kind of had a moment before where he felt the warmth protect him as they were making their way back to Momley, in fact. And he's going to go ahead and slither into that cave. He had slithered into that cave, and he actually went to the statue, and he would wrapped himself around it and to himself just prayed and said, I felt your warmth protect me. I understand now what it means to have something beyond in your corner.
When you wrap around it and you're doing this prayer, this ritual to it, one of the things that you notice is that beforehand it gave this warmth to you, like you just described, and it would leave you when you left it until you had reached a certain understanding, giving it an actual legitimate devotion before. Mm-hmm. When you had done that, then as you unwrapped yourself from it, the warmth stayed with you, which had the benefit, as you just described, of protecting you in a time of need, keeping you warm when otherwise it was a deathly chill about. This time when you wrap around it and you start falling into your devoted prayer, you can feel that while there was a warmth before that did keep you warm, there's a much deeper warmth. You can actually feel on the inside of the statue that there's a fire that burns within. There's almost like a molten magma that permeates within this actual stone and gives it the incredible heat that it has, like filling up the entire complex down here. But you can feel that this magma that's here, it doesn't just stop in the statue. It flows out of the statue and into the earth and into Aurorum, right, into the world. And it flows down deep into other places. You don't know where or anything like that, but you can feel that there's a flow to and from the statue. Do me a favor, just as you did last time, you can roll me a religion check as you try to give yourself a degree of worship.
Yeah, I'm so great at that.
Okay. It is exactly as I described. You can feel that flow of magma to and from the statue. But what that means, what it does, you don't really know, at least not yet.
So Ophios would feel that, and he'd merely say, "Thank you," and for that, I pledge to do more. I pledge to worship you when I'm not here, as best I can, and to continue carrying on the flame that is yours.
You can unravel yourself from the statue, and you can feel that it's power, because you can imagine, it's incredibly powerful. It kind of lingers with you, but only for a few extra moments as you start to slither away. Or walk away. Sorry, you don't slither. You're in snake form. As you slither away, it unfortunately leaves you as you go, leaving behind only that lingering warmth that you had before.
Yep.
Okay. Flashing forward. God damn it! Whoa! It's not his fault, and so on. You guys finish doing all of the training that you need to get okay with the lockpicks. You don't know who you want to lend your lockpicks to, Messi. He might break them out of frustration. She might break them because she's just too forceful with them. They're not cheap and they're hard to come by, but you might have to leave them with one of them.
I'll do what I must, man.
Okay. So, Flint, like you said, you kind of get your own little preparation thing set up there. Do you have the ability to mold stone or metal or anything like that at all?
I have mending that can fix things, but I don't have the ability to mold stone.
Okay, I didn't know if you had move earth or anything like that.
Or stone shape.
I don't have stone shape, no.
Okay, so never mind. Don't worry about it. So you grab up a couple of those crystals, pocket them, maybe get one of them, like you said, stick it to the thing. You probably using something like twine or something to wrap it on there. Make sure it's not going anywhere. They would see you and be like, "What did you tie to your hair?" Oh, okay. The plan is already set. You guys know what it is that you have to do. You just need to finish inciting whatever form of riot Oh no. Yeah, you.
We were waiting on Nightingale to talk to do the Thieves Guild thing.
That's right. And you already rolled your favor for that one
correct.
too. This is the last session without that you have no favors, and then of course it reset next month. But so the Nightingale would go and speak to the person. They would come back like we had said beforehand the next day and say, the guilds have their influence. They will play along. Once everything is set and in place, they will inspire interest of the guards and the people's counteractions.
They're supposed to be the ones turning in the accountant's clothing, I believe.
Yeah. They're also going to lure the guards to a degree, and it's meant to be a multiple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just making sure we were on the same page.
Nope, you're fine. Was there anything that your characters would do that last preparation time, Rena? Anybody that you wanted to talk to, anything that you needed to contemplate or whatever before finally you're literally handed over to the guards as a prisoner?
I mean, yeah, she would probably want to talk to both Ophios and Yondis.
Okay. I imagine.
So she'd like ask them, hey, can we talk?
I'll give you guys the floor for a moment.
So we'll like duck into like one of those, I don't know, the green room or whatever he said in the Orpheum. And she would just say, listen, I don't know how this is gonna go, but no matter what, I'm gonna stick to the plan and try to get it done. But if this works, I don't know. Like, what next?
South, like we said. We lead them to the army and weaken them, and we free your peoples. Is what Ophio said. Looking at Rena, that is what was discussed at least. But given circumstances, you are the one who's has the most weight to bears. Therefore, your decisions carry the most weight with them.
I know I've made a lot of mistakes recently, so I'm going to try to make better choices throughout this, but I don't know. I just wanted to tell you both that that's what I'm going to do. And I appreciate you sticking with me for this long.
Ophios is actually going to do something you guys have never seen before. And he's actually going to do prestidigitation, and he'll show you his basically the symbol of his clan. Something you guys have never seen before. And essentially what it looks like is it's like a snake head with an assassin's symbol in the middle of the snake head. So there's kind of like I'll send it to you guys personally. I haven't done the actual official artwork of it, but it looks like a snake head with like the Assassin's Creed triangle, but it forms out into a snake.
That's sick.
In the center. So I'll show you the basis of it.
How is it appearing before us? Is it like you said prestidigitation? So you're just showing us kind of like this image.
Yeah, and he shows that image like within his hands, and then he pushes it into his chest. It's kind of like it appears, and he puts it inside himself, and he just kind of nods.
I could do that.
We're both like, wow, it's cool.
Whoa.
If you look in Regicide chat, this isn't it, but it's kind of.
But it's close.
Yeah. Gotcha.
This is symbolism of some kind.
Ophios wouldn't say a word other than the fact that he just showed a very. That is something you've never seen before, and that's very much a symbol to him of trust. But you guys don't know that. He just shows it. and says nothing else.
Oh, I do kind of see like the snake face, although it kind of looks like a fox or like a cat too. I could see that.
Yeah, so I need to actually draw it out, but
It looks pretty good. I like it.
That's dope. The last thing she'd say, both of you, she'd look at Yondas and just say, like I said, I'm going to try to make the best decisions I can, but yeah, if I mess up again, I hope you both can forgive me.
Don't worry, your legacy doesn't die with just you. I'm just kidding. You're gonna make it. We're gonna be fine.
She just smiles. She's just gonna shake her head.
Well, as far as the future plans, I think we can burn those bridges when we get to them. Let's worry about today first.
May I pay you tomorrow for a hamburger today? So you guys have your moments where you discuss things with one another. All the while, Flint is kind of like, yeah, I'll take one more. And, puts it in his pocket. Okay, don't sit down too hard. And you get yourselves kind of psyched up. The next morning, what's her name comes in and informs you. Nightingale comes in and informs you the information. Less than an hour after that, Dwayne finds his way there and says, with his hood pulled up and everything, he comes into the room and into the place and he makes his way over to you guys, taking his hood down. And he's like, Rena, it's about time. If there's anything else that you needed to say or do before we go, if there's anything that you don't want put inside their storage facilities, now's the time to decide. Whatever you have with you is going to be confiscated as you're brought there. You need to bring enough that it's believable.
Did Ophios give me the little shrinking sword?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're giving it to Dwayne, and he's gonna slip it to you.
yeah,
He's gonna slip it to me. Okay, got it. Okay, yeah.
you Yondas is the one who currently has it. And if you want to put it on your character sheet, Rena, I just have it as magic sword of growing.
Okay.
So I can remove it from my character sheet now. So
You can make it any size sword. So for you, a great sword, I guess, if you're two-handed.
Or a bastard sword, which is what you might actually turn it into, but
Yeah, that's probably what she would go for.
A bastard sword is 1d10 damage when you wield it in two hands, which is obviously how you would do it. So.
yeah, but it can also be wielded one-handed.
Correct.
Oh,
yeah.
my bad. Sorry, I was trying.
Oh!
I was trying to add it. No, why did I do that?
Roll the damage.
Damn it.
Roll the damage. Roll it.
3?
3
plus 0?
I don't know why it clicked that.
Rolling 0 equals 0.
Oh, because you didn't correct the damage on it.
Oh, it's because yeah.
That's all. Which should be does this incorporate your reroll?
Oh, I can't.
So Rena, the weight of that is 3. The magic sword of growing is 3.
Okay.
Yeah, because your damage is still not the D10 or whatever. That's why.
Because I have to add it to my attacks is what we're trying to do, right?
Yeah. You're perfectly fine.
Right.
Okay.
But make sure and put it in. Change the item name to whatever you want to call it: growing sword or shrinking sword or
Grubber, not a shower.
Yeah. What would it officially be called in Loper?
Good question.
Nose.
Oh, Giannis, you were gonna try and identify that to see if there was anything else on it.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Yeah, so we can do that later. Hopefully we keep it.
Scott, could you check it? Because I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, you're fine. So your damage is still not on there.
Oh.
So your damage is going to be 1d10 with how it is that you intend to wield it. Though you can wield it one-handed for only a d8. Just set it for the d10. That's fine because you always do it two-handed.
And you could make it bigger into a great sword.
And damage should be strength as you have. Attack should be strength and proficient as you have. I can't remember. Let me just check one thing real quick. Oh yeah, that's right. Damage is actually this because it's supposed to be haha.
Oh.
Yeah, reroll if it's less than 2. So I'm going to come down to that thing and I'm going to paste this. So now if you want to try rolling damage for that critical hit one. Okay, do that again. I just want to see if something happens. Oh, there
Yep.
we go. Perfect. Okay, cool.
Okay,
So I
sweet.
did it correctly. Yep.
Yeah. I follow now. Okay, cool.
Awesome. Is your
Thank
chance
you.
only a +5 though? Why does that feel off? Or is that always what it is? No, that's always what it is.
I think it's always that. Yeah.
too much Pathfinder. Too much Pathfinder. with a chance
Except
to
for
hit
my
something.
great axe, but that's because +5 was right.
Yep. Cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. So, Yondis, you said you wanted him to try to identify this thing probably before he gave it over or whatever it is?
Yeah, but we said he didn't do it, so it didn't happen.
Yeah, I didn't do it yesterday.
Gotcha.
So I'm just gonna leave everything else that you'd given me just behind, I guess. The battle axes. That's all I had really, and the hand axe.
The
Well,
battle
you-
axes the bounty hunter would have to hand in with you.
Yes. Okay.
Yep, exactly. So more or less just that it's something to toss you in there with. And your armor, I imagine you're wearing your armor, which will get confiscated, but you can always get it back when you bust out later on, or maybe just have to replace it in the future. But it's one of those to be,
And we would
Okay.
probably keep the bag of holding
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
back.
Like you can
Oh
hang on to
yeah,
that.
absolutely. Something like that, you do not let her go in there.
No, I wouldn't. I
Yeah.
wouldn't take it with me.
Exactly.
Cool.
Okay. That's
So-
everything then.
Cool, perfect. So you grab all of your stuff, and he has you, and he's like, okay, the stage has been set. You know where to go. I'll be there with a. I'll of course pull my blows. I don't intend to hurt you. We need to make it real though, so don't hold back too hard.
I can handle it.
But remember, don't fight for your life. You're supposed to lose this one.
I'll try to hold back.
Oh, he's nervous.
He looks over to Yondis and says, you were adding to the ambiance, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Magically. Nods. All right. Well, Rena, you head over there, and I'll meet you there. And
Well, I don't know if I have any spells for that.
So where are we going?
Just you guys had mentioned like a place where you were going to go and have like a quick little fight out in the middle of the streets, and it's
Okay,
like all
just
part of,
somewhere.
like,
No
a
big
little
deal.
plan, exactly. And then they
Casual.
drag you a short distance over to where the actual like barracks was. That way, it wasn't
Okay.
one of those. You didn't want it to be dragged out too long because things could go awry.
Yeah.
A couple of Laszlo's men are meant to go and run perimeter just to make sure that nothing went out of hand. So they're going to kind of like fan out and run perimeter to make sure that like, if no guards would intercept and cause things to go awry again. It's meant to be a scene between the two of you and him capturing you and word spreading throughout the streets of that and dragging you in. Part of doing this is after you head out and there's like 15 minute or so time where you get there and you're waiting a few minutes. He looks to the rest of you guys and says, she'll be okay. I think we're all going to benefit greatly from this.
Ophios is gonna give him a look like she better be, or else it's your head, kind of thing. But he's not gonna say that. He's just gonna give him his look like kind of like a subtle like nod with a big glare.
Yep. He says, I miss that look. So I'm kind of homesick. All right. I'll be seeing you. And he turns and he starts walking back. I starts walking to leave, and then he turns back and says, Flint, don't forget the edge of town where we're meeting. I'm not just going to run with it. And then he walks out the door and shuts it behind him, hood up and everything. Walks out the door, shuts it behind him. The 15 minutes pass, Rena, when all of a sudden you don't know when exactly or where exactly it's going to come from. It'd be too obvious, right? When all of a sudden an arrow shoots out from behind and you fucker, that hurt, as he clips your leg, and it's decidedly not a hit inside your actual thigh, but it slices past you and definitely cuts skin and starts bleeding, and you immediately have to react. And the whole thing plays out with him going almost Robin Hood style. You know what I mean? You mentioned beforehand a guy with a crossbow on a roof. Well, this guy will take a bow to the roof and will run. And he's a ranger. He's a legitimate ranger. He has long strider. He has the ability to jump pretty decently, magically enhanced. And so he will run from a roof and take a shot midair and land, tumbling on the other side and stay low. So if you try to return the shot, it doesn't work out, to the point where you end up having to go up there and to face him melee. And he draws a sword, and you guys end up battling for a while. And It's not painless. It hurts, and you have to fight back the instincts of taking advantage because he's a good fighter. Let's not discredit this guy. But you're pretty sure you'd win if you needed to. And it makes it that much harder to not win when you're pretty sure that you'd be able to take this fight. Despite that fact, you eventually, there's a moment where he goes to do a swing, you easily block it, and then you see the perfect opportunity where you can block his next attack with great ease or leave that defense open. And you do, and luckily he notices the tell and follows up with like a pommel hit to the side of the head that hurts, explodes in your head with pain, and sends you reeling to the ground, dazed. And he comes up, like lifts you up by the front of your shirt and hits you in the side of the head one more time, knocking you clean and conscious. You're going to taste copper for some time. But nonetheless, here you are and defeated and whatever. He literally takes your weapons for those that are around and witnessing, throws them off of the rooftop, and lets them like clamber onto the ground down below so people can see it. And then he will grab Rena and throw her over his shoulder. We're talking like princess style, not no respect in that. So throws her over the shoulder and carries her down the stairs and starts walking through the streets. Messy. Roll me. You were obviously there aiding some degree of like ambiance to the situation with minor magics or whatever. Flint was not meant to be really anywhere around. Ophios, I'm not entirely sure what Ophios's place would have been here. If he would have been involved at all, or
he would have been finding his way somewhere near the barracks where he can hide in kind of like a house or be occupied, because his plan is when things start to go down, he's teleporting down to where Rena is, so Rena's not by herself.
But that's in the future. That's in a couple
Correct.
of days. Or
So
whatever,
essentially, he's just he would be following like as quietly and stealthily as he can as he's escorting her to the barracks, but staying a long distance away as long as he can see, to make sure that the plan is going as necessary.
Ophios, because you're near enough by, and Messy, roll me sense motive. Sorry, long day. Playing 7-hour session earlier today. So 11 hours of D&D today. Yay!
What are we rolling?
Sense motive.
What is it?
Is that insight?
What's that?
Insight. Sorry, it's addition blindness.
Okay.
Okay. So yours is terrible. Ophios.
Oh, you need me to roll sense motive?
Correct.
Insight. Okay.
Flint, do you want to roll just for fun? I want to see if we can get another 7.
I love that my insight is a -1, so let's do it.
If you roll a 7, I'm gonna give a bunch of daddies to Mem.
Oh my God! Rolled a 7. He
rolled a
literally rolled a 7.
I rolled a 7. I just have a -1.
Yeah.
One rolled a 6. One rolled a 5. It just doesn't count. Sorry.
Wait, was it 5, 6, 7?
Wait, no,
Yeah, we rolled
it
5.
was 6, 5, 7.
No,
So
6,
5,
5,
6, 7 on the dice. Yeah.
No, sorry.
I tried, Mem.
Yeah.
I tried.
You always get Mem just to the cusp and disappoint. Sorry. So you anyways, you guys are probably too distracted by seeing Rena in the state, especially after all the shit she just went through recently. Too often recently you've seen, unfortunately, Rena be put in terrible scenarios. Like, it's one of those, this is your friend. Oh God, she's my friend. This is my friend. And they are unfortunately always in these shitty spots. It like kills you a little bit on the inside, so it distracts you a bit from what it is that you're witnessing. Anyways, Rena, you are eventually carried into the barracks, and you go out of sight from anybody watching. Guards join in after the Laszlo perimeter kind of lets up. The guards are able to kind of join in almost all the way to the barracks. They join in like, oh, he's like, yeah, no, I got her. He's like, I fucking got her. He's like, glad I decided to stop by Mom, that whole
the spiel,
or whatever goes on. And it's easy for him to bluff this because this is literally what he's done for years, his reputation of it. Brings him to the barracks, and when he goes in there, stays in there from everybody else's perspective, from the spies. I imagine Yondis might be spying on it. I don't know if Ophios is the entire time. But he's in there for literal hours. while he's in there. Eventually, Rena, you kind of come to, and when you come to again, you're in a cell, all by yourself. There's the cell.
Oh, finally alone time. Okay.
That is my phone telling me my pizza's almost ready. So you're in a cell all by yourself with the gate is shut, sealed. You're in a room that has like 2 different gates inside of it, but neither of them with the general populace peoples. These cells are big enough you can have multiple people in them, but there's only you and yours and nobody else in the other one. Again, there's nobody in here with you at all. When you kind of come to, you have a ringing headache. You can imagine the amount of pain that you're in. But when you check over your person, you kind of like look over, you're actually able to find slightly, because your armor has been removed off of you. Your weapons and everything have been removed off of you. But as you're done like checking yourself over, so on and so forth, you actually find hidden inside of your boot a little thing kind of like poking into your ankle. You thought it was just your ankle hurting at first. When you reach and you pull out, you actually see there are the lockpicks, and there is the teeny tiny toothpick dagger there waiting for you. You're in.
Which probably he thought was just another lockpick.
You are in. You're able, good to go. I have to run away for 2 seconds, so be entertaining. I have to get my pizza.
Well, I was gonna say we could just have some RP between Flint, Yondis, and Ophios.
Yeah. What are you guys doing while I'm getting arrested?
After that happens, Ophios, I'm sure we're at the house waiting for the plan to take place because we're not doing it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
imagine
it'll
the tone
probably
is
be
very
like,
quiet. Not a lot of people talking, just very silent.
Ophios kind of walks. Ophios would have walked back after kind of following and keep an eye out and just say, "Well, seems Rena's been done. Bounty hunter at least seemed to have done his head in the bargain."
Not until he gives us a quarter of the money.
Right.
Should we go to
right.
the edge of town and wait for him?
It might be smart. Should it be all 3 of us? One of you? Just me? What do you think?
Probably just you, Yondis. We kind of have been seen with her. It'd be disconcerting if we were spotted in that way. Flint, you're more inconspicuous.
He nods.
Hard word for a snake to say.
Inconspicuous. Well, yeah, sure. All right. And he just walks away.
Hey, Flint.
Turns back.
Keep your guards up.
He takes the hammer off of his back and starts walking again. And you notice a gem attached to one side of the hammer.
That's literally a bomb.
Glowing ever so slightly.
Yeah. Does
That is a
Yondis say
charge.
anything? Ophios would just kind of look at Yondis and just be like, "So
He knows what they do.
you saw it too?"
I saw
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Oh, you'd also notice him as he walked away too. After you said that, touch his chest and his skin becomes that concrete type color again.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if he's gonna explode,
Might as well be dust instead of flesh.
Yeah.
Yes, the Grays man's.
So
he a
after a couple
Martian?
of hours, he eventually makes his way out of the barracks, laughing, joking, and whatnot, like calling back in, like calling back into the guards in there, and clearly having had a genuinely jovial time. Yondis, the only one that was of the group that's legit like spying, watching in an area that's close enough that you can see what's going on because you're the most stealthy of the people here. You would actually see that the way that he walks, he definitely has a bit of a stumble to him. He definitely is a bit drunk. He ends up walking throughout town. I don't know if you tail him or not.
I just wait for the meeting spot. I think I would. Just
Yeah,
kinda from a far
Flint's
distance.
at the meeting spot.
Yeah.
Okay. So the meeting spot's a good distance away, of course. It's near the edge of town. He would go and eventually go and gather up his horse and pay off whoever he needs to there, hop up onto his horse, and then ride over to the edge of town where he's supposed to meet up with, what's his name there, Flint.
Would you say that this is a pretty discreet area?
Yeah, you're actually going back over by the warehouse area.
Okay.
FYI, Scott, that investigation was for Ophios to find a snake
Oh,
in Momley. Like
somewhere
like
in
a
the cities.
regular sized snake, not like another him snake.
we don't really live in cities. There's no like grass and stuff.
Snakes live in cities.
How many snakes have you seen in Boston there, Will?
I mean, in Boston,
Yeah.
How many concrete
Not many,
empires exist
but,
in
like,
the world?
I hike a lot.
I mean, you might be able to find a like a
Gardener snake.
Yeah. Gardener
Yeah, I mean,
Someone's
at the end of the day, Scott, you decide based on that investigation roll.
snake. Yeah.
all I'm
And
saying.
you'd be able to eventually find a garter snake or something like that, like a small one. You know what I mean? Not like a viper, nothing poisonous.
Okay, he would just write a note and tell it to go to where Rena is.
So you let Rena know. Wait, what?
No, he
yeah.
remember
I
how he
understand.
passed
Yep, I
messages
understand.
early
Yeah,
on?
yep.
He's just sending a little paper note to Rena.
He comes up to the meeting spot with you and Flint. Again, it's over by the warehouse district, and he meets up with you. His horse rides up to the area where you're meant to wait, and you are waiting there. Laszlo has 2 men on the roofs nearby, just in case you needed a little assistance. And he sees you, kind of waves, get his attention. He hops off the horse and walks over. Hey, Flint. Took longer than expected, but job's done.
Could I do an insight roll to see if he seems like drunk or anything like that?
Sure. Drunk's a bit harsh. He's probably tipsy.
Okay. Yeah, I've been waiting here quite some time.
The boys were celebrating. You can't say no. Posterity and all.
Takes a deep breath in, stares him in the eye, and goes, "Well, what's the hole?"
I'm pretty sure you heard before that the reward for Rena was 10,000.
Nods.
It was double.
Can I insight check to see if that's true?
Yeah.
I mean, it was true. There was.
So I just know
That's
that's true.
fine.
Okay.
It says it doubled.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
everybody's walking away a little bit happier than they thought they were. A little bit happier than we all thought we were going to be. So, unfortunately, the coin isn't all in coin. That'd be a ridiculous amount for the city to have on hand. I was able to argue with them enough to get the 5,000 in coin and take the other 15 in writ, which I don't mind because I can walk into a bank and get what I need. So I have the 5,000 in coin for you because I imagine you don't intend to walk into any banks anytime soon.
No, I don't, and that was very smart of you. He just gives him like a grin.
Yeah, well, they think I'm gambling. So I suppose in a way I am.
This meeting could have been. He like reaches out for like the sack of gold or multiple sacks of gold, whatever it is.
Yep.
Platinum, whatever it is.
He actually goes back over to the horse, and it's definitely not just one sack. I mean, considering that 5,000 gold technically weighs 100 pounds.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I pick it up.
He goes over to the horse, and he grabs, it's literally like, so he grabs a large sack off of the horse, and carries it over. There's a bit of a heft to it. He's not a weak person, but he's also not super strong either. So he's like, and puts it down in front of on the ground in front of you. It literally is a sack of gold. And he goes over and gets the other one and puts it down in front of you. As 2 sacks of 2,500 golden coins are put in front of you. He's like, well, I think they're hoping to be reimbursed by the prince for this one because we bled him dry.
He nods to that. He starts tying the sacks to either end of his hammer and then balances the hammer on his shoulder. He like, ugh. And well, great doing business with you, and just walks away.
Yep. The sacks are strong. They're reinforced, so you don't have to worry.
Yep.
But God forbid you were to be attacked at any point in time right now, there would be a leak of coins.
I would be using the coins as a weapon, so that's okay.
I mean, you do have those Laszlo's men to help you carry stuff.
To be honest, if I were to be attacked right now, I'd cast a spell and just be out.
Also, I don't know if sorry. Part of the plan here is Ophios would have told you of which warehouse to go to. Like, okay, from the meeting spot, go over here. It's not a long walk. You'll be safe in there for a bit. And you would actually go over to that warehouse location, and you'll be able to walk in. And it's one of those. You're in the front entrance area. He's like, don't go deep into the warehouse. You don't want to trespass, but that front entrance, I promise you'll be safe. And you're able to go in there.
How much would you say of this gold I could pocket without it being noticeable?
Honestly, probably a good portion, like easily 50 to 100 gold. Nobody would ever notice that with a quick glance. Even more than that, nobody would notice with a quick glance.
I would take like 200 gold and just pocket it.
Yep.
And honestly, they're expecting far less than that. We were expecting a quarter of, so we were expecting half of that.
Exactly. So I would easily take 200, and I'll have a story about why we got more.
And so he walks back to his horse as you walk away, pets the thing, hops up on it, and starts riding towards the edge of town, calling out, "Good luck," and rides off.
I'd start walking to the warehouse to give the gold and get into whatever position I need to be in.
So you would go into the warehouse. I imagine Ophios would also be waiting inside the warehouse as the final checkpoint person. So Ophios, after he goes in there, and it's been you were waiting a long time. You're probably getting nervous and all that shit. Anyways, eventually one of the times that you kind of like peek out of the hidden spot, you would actually see he's there, just kind of standing there, leaning, whatever it is, waiting for somebody to show. And you can come out of your little secret spot to greet him if you'd like.
I believe we had agreed that this payment was going to the people that had supplied the weapons and stuff, right?
I think what we were doing was we were using it to rally people. Was that true?
No, we weren't using money for that. It was going to our cause in one way or another.
Yeah.
But we had people that Ophios had contacts with that literally supplied us with those crystals.
That could have been it then, yeah.
So, since we got more, Ophios would you'd see almost out of nowhere, Flint. And in fact, I will roll my stealth if I need to, but I don't think I need to. Scott, you decide. Should I roll my stealth to have Ophios kind of just appear out of nowhere?
Is Flint particularly perceptive?
I have I'm proficient in it, but I have a +2.
So you have a passive 12. You just gotta beat a 12, dude.
Yeah, beat a 12.
All right.
There you go.
So almost out of nowhere, you just hear your name speak. Just Flint's.
You see him get startled quickly and go to pick up the hammer that has still the sacks attached to it, but struggles for a second, then looks, and and
Ophios is walking forward.
Yeah, he's like, okay, yeah. You not many people scare me, and you scared me.
Ophios just kind of laughs. Anyways, how much was the hauls?
Well, let me tell you, we were only supposed to be getting 2,500 gold because a quarter of 10,000, and he's counting on his fingers. I was told it was 2,500, but we got more. We got quite a lot more. Something like 4,500, 4,600. I don't know the exact amount. We got a lot more because I guess the reward was even higher than we expected. Should I roll a deception for that?
I mean, technically speaking, yeah, but it's I give you an advantage because
I'm telling the truth, but I'm also being deceptive.
You're not being super crazy with this.
Here's my normal insight for you.
Normal insight, yeah.
There you go. You're fine.
Wow!
Sounds great. Goods to... Part of it, as expected, will go to this, but perhaps we should give some to Laszlo and his men's. Of course.
I mean, maybe we should take some for ourselves, too.
Of course.
Which is what you... All right, and then when you say of course, I easily grab an extra 200 gold and just put it on my body.
And he'll be like, we'll consult with Yondis when we take back the little bit of extra towards Yondis, towards Laszlo's men before we head forward.
He just nods.
And Ophios will take half of it.
Okay.
Basically one of the bags.
No, you can. I don't know how much space you have left in the bag of holding. Can you just throw?
No, he's gonna
No,
take
no.
half of it and just tell Flint waits here, and
Okay.
he's gonna disappear again. Do you need me to roll stealth again or no?
I mean, to disappear. Oh, you mean down below?
Yeah.
Well, he can watch you now, so he can literally see you go down there. You're gonna be catching him off guard. So
And he wouldn't actually go down there.
Okay.
He would actually go and set it near there, but hidden in that room.
Oh, that's fine. I mean,
Because he
it's
would
kind of
have
like under
told the
stairs or
other.
whatever.
Yeah, he would have told
Yeah.
the other snake person to expect this, by this time.
I'm also not even worried about you. I'm more so just standing here with a bunch of gold on guard in case someone tries to rob me.
And Ophios, on top of that too, would use an invisibility oil to cover it. So we would be down to 3 invisibility oils.
Okay, beautiful. What do you boys do? You go and speak to Laszlo with the other sack of coin?
Yeah, we would actually meet with Yondis first, which was what we had discussed, and then we would go with the rest of the coin and give it to Laszlo's men. But we were consulting with Yondis first to make sure Yondis takes some for our purposes before we move forward, giving the rest to Laszlo for his men.
Meeting up with
And then
Yondis
I
is-
would have RP for that as well.
Meeting up with Yondis is pretty easy, I imagine, because he saw the meeting, he saw you go in there, he knew everything else, blah 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 blah. He probably would just at some point in time walk into the warehouse. You know what I mean? Just kind of like, hey guys, you know.
As long as I was looking, yeah, I'll do it.
You weren't able to really hear conversation with where you were stationed because you were trying to be eyes on the prize, but not necessarily so close that people would notice you, right? So you weren't able to hear that there was a lot of money, but it definitely looked like sacks of coins. So maybe in your mind he's paying them in silver, but you're pretty sure you saw the glint of gold when a hand like went in and clink 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 showed what was in there.
Okay.
So when you walk in, you know that there was a lot of gold.
Okay. I presume this would be like just after or as Ophios is walking back out from covering the thing in invisibility oil.
That's fine. So Yondis comes walking in. You guys discuss with him, saying,
Yondis, I figured you would initiate since you're walking in.
"Boys, oh boys."
Hey guys. How was your talk with the bounty hunter?
He'll like jiggle one of his pockets that has gold in it and say, "Got a little extra gold. Took a little bit for myself."
I saw 2 sacks worth, huh?
Yeah. Basically, we got double the amount of gold.
Speaking of
Basically,
which,
got double the amount. Okay. Jesus. Well,
Yeah, it's a
they-
lot.
speaking of which, the supplies were only expecting halves from what I had discussed with our suppliers. This, however, perhaps we take some and maybe give some to, well, Laszlo and the comrades that have been helping us for so long. Perhaps helping them with their losses. And I imagine to Yondis this would be a surprise because it's like he's showing compassion. This Flint wouldn't know this, but this is unusual for Ophios.
You know, we could also see if Mathis Cuddy up north needs some.
Ophios would merely raise an eyebrow and nod.
Could leave that up for Laszlo and Nightingale to decide.
But of course, they'd helped us, so it would make sense that they get some since we had extras.
Yeah, I actually agree, which is unique. But it makes my life easier, so
Flint's already taken a little bit. Perhaps
fair enough.
replenish your supply a little bit as before we pass it along.
What do you say we take 100 gold each?
He will look at you. He will look at you and just be like, knowing you had how much you had just taken recently, to just be like,
It's like when you go to when someone leaves the bucket of candy on their doorstep, says take one on Halloween.
Yeah,
Ophios
oh, yeah.
would nod, but if you reached in again, he would stop your hand.
He does like do that reach, and you're just like, no. I'm like, oh, all right.
It's kind of like one of those things you reach in, and Ophios just kind of watches your hand and then looks at you and looks at your hand like, nah, like shakes his head.
He'd give you like an actual, a pretty hearty laugh. Usually his emotions are like slowly building and slowly declining, but he just goes straight to like a belly laugh with that one. Actually,
You guys are perfect for each other. It's great.
so
Roleplay.
Hashtag bromance.
how should we go about getting her out now?
That's for tomorrow's mornings.
Yeah, but
Or when they're all hungovers.
yeah,
Seem
they've been
to
drinking.
celebrate, yes.
Mm-hmm. We wanted a public statement to be brought forward so we can get the other two in the same place at the same time.
If things work out as plans with Nightingales, that'll be tomorrow's.
Perfect. We need someone to keep an ear out for that and prepare. Do we get her out before, or do we get her out after? Do we get her out during? What's...
Ophios will say, leave that to me's. You'll know when it happens. Just be ready. And he'll also say, Yondis, you up for the watch?
Yeah, I can take it. Just
And
going back to the previous thing, definitely not after. Thanks.
yeah.
You know, before going to sleep, I would spend a bunch of spell slots to charge these crystals that I have now.
Really?
I would use Scorching Ray to charge any of them that aren't charged already.
Okay.
And I'll cast it multiple times if I have to.
So you grab a crystal, and you just cast Scorching Ray on it, right?
No. I put it on the floor in front of me. And then I cast Scorching Ray. One on it to see what happens.
Let's do this later for the time being, because we still need to walk back and have the RP with Laszlo and Nightingale and all of that to figure out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Explode.
So, and I think Scott might try and do something to us as we're walking back.
That's not a good roll, is it? What is that for?
His eyebrows went up. I don't like that.
I love when Tyler says things like he raises an eyebrow, and I'm like, motherfucker, he doesn't have eyebrows. He's a snake. He raises an illusionary eyebrow. He thinks eyebrow go up and it goes up. Like,
it's still what it appears as. I have to say as it appears as. But anyway, we're heading back towards.
Hold on.
Okay.
My wife told me I look like crap. Josh.
I mean,
Josh. What the hell, man? Full stop of the campaign for that, man.
Anyway,
Josh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anyway, is there anything that happens as we walk back to the Emporium?
That's a really good question. It depends. How keen are you on what's happening? Do you roll perception checks and insight checks?
I mean,
Do we
if
have
we're
to?
walking back.
I'll roll a perception check, yeah. Not insight.
Damn it! Why am I so bad? It's a +6. I can't roll higher than a.
Wait, one more 6 and we win something. Or 12, damn it.
Too bad. So anyways, you're able to get an impression that there is definitely something that's going to looking to happen in town tonight. Almost like the guards are like ramped up, like the fact that they got Rena, like they think we can take advantage of this situation. Because not all of them got drunk. Let's be serious. But like we can take advantage of this momentum, of the situation, so on and so forth. However, you are keen enough that you can kind of avoid anything that might take place, allowing you to get yourselves to safety on the other end of town and worry about tomorrow's problems tomorrow and let tonight handle itself.
Yep. If anything, this helps our cause.
You guys are able to, like I said, find the situations enough you can avoid them, and kind of step around, let other people take the heat tonight. And unfortunately, when you wake up in the morning, they do. The number of raids that happen by the guards into so many different homes, the number of attacks that they do, the number of other people that get captured by the guards and brought to the barracks, brought to the prison, is ridiculous. And these are just like, some of them are commoners. Actually, one of Laszlo's men got captured. I mean, they raid hard. They fought hard throughout the night. There was no question that when they got Rena, a couple of them got drunk, they started talking, everybody got worked up, and they decided to attack now, middle of the night, make a statement. to all of you. We have Rena, and we're coming for the rest of you. That statement was made, and it was made so hard. The morning you wake up to hearing reports about this, everybody in your little Orpheum whatnot is rather flustered about how much they have to deal with throughout the night.
Okay, that's what happens that night. We were still gonna have the Laszlo and Ophios and us having an RP moment because of the gold and everything. So like Laszlo.
Even something like that, Laszlo could have been occupied last night. It could be the next morning that you have the conversation.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Wait. So,
You
my
got to do your
gems?
spell things.
How many?
Do you ask anybody else to help you with your gems? And Giannis,
No.
So that first gem, you roll, and there is a you hit it with the scorching ray. It charges up considerably, and you can see it glowing, but nothing crazy.
Okay. I won't charge any of them more than once if they seem to get charged.
Sure. So how many second level spells do you have?
I think I have 4.
Okay, so you take that
No,
one,
sorry, I have 3. So I'll actually cast it 3 times,
You
and
take
then
that one, you carefully put it to the side and get another one, and do that again.
well, yep. So wait, so scorching ray is 3. So you're saying I hit it all 3? 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, cast the spell on it. Yeah.
So yep. So I'll do that. Say I have 5 gems, I'll actually use my 2 level 3 slots too to
Sure.
boost the other ones.
Sure. So we'll do the second one. So you hit this one. This one's glowing brighter with the scorching ray thrown into it, but
Okay.
nothing happens.
Okay.
The third one, you throw the scorching ray into it, and it's glowing brighter. Then you hit it with that third ray of the scorching ray. It's explodes outwards.
How much damage do I take?
Yeah, reflex save or dexterity save, whatever it's called.
Dex save?
Mhm.
Alright. I'm really good at that. I clicked it, but it's not.
Yeah, roll 20.
also, I hope you're doing this somewhere
slow
else
today.
other than in the Emporium because
Half.
fine.
You failed. So you did 9
to-
points of damage that night.
To be honest, probably not.
so you took 9 points of damage.
And an explosion happened inside the Orpheum.
So
What?
that happened on the 3rd gem.
Correct.
All right, let's go for lucky number 4.
And this is going to be with a fireball or something?
Nope, it's gonna be with another scorching ray, just as a higher level spell.
Oh, so it's a third level scorching ray?
Yes.
Okay.
But because it is individual blasts, if I notice it starting to even seem remotely like the other,
That was me role playing. It's
Come on.
yeah. You're hitting it with a third level spell. Is kind of what it is.
Yep.
So it's kind of like. So this one, you throw the spells into it. Roll me a dexterity save.
okay.
As
After this
one
happens twice,
supercharges too fast and it explodes so freaking quickly. Let me roll the damage. So this one's going to be, what did I roll last time? It was 3, right? No, 4. So this one's going to be
5.
yeah. 17 points of damage, but luckily you actually made your dexterity save and was able to jump back enough that you did not take the full amount of damage, you took half that. So that's
Perfect.
going to be, was it 8 points of damage you take? The total of 17 damage you took between the 2 attacks.
And
this
as
other
the-
one blew up too quickly on you.
As the unwise, average, intelligent person that I am, scorching ray level 3 again. I am going to do it on the last gem.
Okay. I imagine at this point in time, people are like running into the room, like, what are you doing? Hold on, I was experimenting.
yeah, basically. No
I
eyebrows.
imagine he's on the stage.
Yep. Oh yeah, in the middle of the stage where it worked last time.
So anyways, you do the third level spell again on this one. It is
Yep.
glowing very bright. But,
But
doesn't
it
explode.
doesn't.
It
Okay.
doesn't explode.
I take them and I make sure that they are all on my person, but not next to each other in different areas. Like I have one in like a pocket over here, one in a pocket over here.
So mechanically, I roll a d4. That's how many levels of spells it can hold before it bursts.
Mm-hmm.
If you go over that maximum level, depending on how over you go, that's how much of a burst
like
you get.
Why'd you publicly roll the 1d4 but not the other ones?
I didn't mean to publicly roll the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because if you know, then you know, oh, I can hold
Oh
4.
yeah, I can put more into it. Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
All right. So anyways, so you have 3 that are charged.
And one that's charged already on my hammer.
And one that's charged and put into your hammer. Yeah, sorry, like I said, I fucked up my microphone with critical hitting my PCs so many times in a row this morning. So I'm like, I'll have to fix this later. Anyways, so yeah, you fuck it up. You do the job. Yay.
Yep.
Moving on. So that is that night. The next day, yeah, people are freaking out. I imagine these guys even freak out about what the hell you're doing. You're exploding inside the place. You're gonna grab the guard's attention, so on and so forth. Da 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 da. I don't know if they react to an RP at all or no.
I think Ophios probably wouldn't have ran in there. Instead, would have ran to be on guard, watching outside. Having expected, if he had paid attention to people inside, he would have let them go yell at him.
Okay. Does Giannis go yell at him or no?
I'm currently on watch, right?
I have to cook this by like 2 minutes, so the dough is like dough.
Yeah, I imagine it'd be when like we switch so that we both get adequate rest.
Yeah, I'd probably just go to bed. I'm nervous about tomorrow. I'm not really like things explode. They exploded on me. I survived. It'll be all right.
Yeah, so I imagine it's just Laszlo's men then.
He starts humming himself back to sleep. The song "Bombs Over Baghdad."
Jeez.
All right.
Let the bodies hit the.
And after that whole fun montage, the next day is the day that we're going to go and, well, we're going to have some fun time with Rena. We're going to bring the camera to Rena as soon as we come back from our first break. So why don't we take a quick little break? And, oh, hello, Van Sexel. Thank you so much for the 1,400 bits. Thank you, Van. But we'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and we'll see you then, Rena. See you then.
Hope you're not trying to ruin our campaign.